So now I just actually pause. Does this need to be said? Does this need to be said right now? Does this need to be said to this person? Can this wait? Is this going to hurt them? Is this going to help the situation? Am I just trying to justify, defend? Because anytime I defend myself, I already lose. So the pause helps me. The pause helps me group and say, how do I want to handle this? Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today, I'm pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing. Join me each week as we take a deep dive and explore the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. Get ready for a more focused, more revealing journey of the human experience. This is a new chapter of Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about, dun dun dun, the pause. The pause. Pausing, most important. I have it on my desk. My mentor or mentors said, I have to have on my desk, pause, slow down, breathe. And they said, because there are moments where the pause, I am missing it. I am missing the gold. The pause is the gold. And what is the power of the pause? It is the ability to break the cycle of constant motion. And when you do that, it offers space to reflect, go introspection within self, and become self-aware. So today is all about the pause. The pause helps us and others go inward. Before speaking today, I want you to try to pause, which is really hard for me, really, really hard, because I always think and have been taught, especially in the South and being a woman, that my voice doesn't matter. This is what it felt like. My voice didn't matter. What I said was stupid, especially if I had an accent at times. And that women shouldn't be speaking at all. Like, I don't want to hear it. I used to even have people in high school be like, yeah, I don't want to hear what you have to say. And it was very run by a masculine male domination where I grew up. So whenever I spoke, I felt like I had to rush, especially having a learning disability, ADHD, already feeling insecure, low self-worth, stupid, hard at school. So when I talked, I sped. I talked really fast because I wanted to get my point out before someone cut me off, or if I got it out fast enough, I didn't sound stupid and maybe I could trick them, or if the faster I went, I got it out quickly. So even when I work with young girls right now, if they speed talk, I try to slow them down. I say, okay, stop. You're talking so fast right now. Let's slow you down so we can go through each point slowly. I wish someone sat there and did that with me and allowed me to breathe, to slow down, to pause. And here's the beautiful thing about the pause. It's the best thing when responding to somebody, ever. Before I respond now, I don't feel like I have to respond right away because I still have that impulse to get it out, to say it, to voice my opinion, to justify, to defend myself. So now I just actually pause. Does this need to be said? Does this need to be said right now? Does this need to be said to this person? Can this wait? Is this going to hurt them? Is this going to help the situation? Am I just trying to justify, defend? Because anytime I defend myself, I already lose. So the pause helps me. The pause helps me group and say, how do I want to handle this? Where do I want to go from this? What do I actually need to say? Is there anything I actually need to say? Because here's the truth. 95, 99% of the time, I don't have to say anything. But there's something about the pause that has helped me hold my own energy, hold my own self-worth, hold my own self, and not have to be so combative or interactive or put my voice on somebody else, especially if they're not in the place where they want to hear it. And the pause gives me that inner place where I can go, do I need to say this? Is this necessary? And half of the time, or more than half of the time, it is not. It is not fucking necessary. It's my, guess what? 3 letters, starts with an E. Ego. It's my ego. When I don't pause, it's my ego. It's my ego that wants to run the show. And where I want to play, let's say it, God, where I want to play, here's my opinion, here's my voice, here's all this that I need to say. So I feel better. So you hear me. So you see where I'm coming from. Instead of when I pause and come from a place of I am full and complete. And do I really need this person to completely understand where I'm coming from? And this very quick, very defensive, usually very impulsive place. Anything that I act out of impulsiveness is not a sober, healthy thought. So the pause helps me in my impulsiveness and my impatience. Here's an example. One of my clients had a conversation with his partner, and his partner just got back from the airport and had a layover and a long weekend of shitty stuff at work. And it's like, is that the time to have a conversation about their future or about something important? Where was the pause? Because it came out impulsively. And then it started an argument that my client didn't even want to have. It just happened, right? Because he had an impulsive need to have this communication and connect, but it was the worst time possible. And if you put the pause in there before you have a communication with somebody, especially if they're walking in the door or coming in after a long, stressful day, if I put the pause in and go, is this going to be useful in this time? Is this necessary in this time? Or is this me trying to fill a void, get a feeling, get a connection? Am I missing it within self? So I put the pause there and go, is this impulsive need, is this really necessary in this environment at this time, right at this moment? And this really helped Mark and I. So I always had this impulsive need every time he walked into the door for me to give him the list that he needed to do. Like that honey-do list, like I need this done and this done and this done. And can we do this and this and this and this? And it got to, I think it took like year 11, maybe. I think it was after we were married because we got married at year 10. So together. But it was pretty late where he was like, can you stop when I come in the door giving me a list of things to do? Because it does not work for me. I hate it. It makes me not want to come home at times. I know as soon as I'm going to walk in the door, you're going to put a bunch of stuff on me. And can you just give me 15 minutes? And it took me a long time to break that habit. But then I started putting in the pause. Pause. As soon as he walked in, I'd impulsively want to go back to that old behavior. And then I'd be like, no, pause. The pause. Don't interact. Don't say anything. Pause. Does this need to be said now? Does this thought need to be said? Does this need to be shared? Does it need to be asked? And then half the time it's like, nope, not a good time. He looks tired. He's hungry. He just drove through traffic in Los Angeles. This does not need to happen. Do I need to say this at this time and do this at this time? No. So here's the rule of thumb. Anything impulsive should have the pause before it. Always. So here's the reasons that pausing is so important. You gather your thoughts. You gather your thoughts. And we're not talking, listen, my thinking is my disease, so I can spin anything. So it's gathering your thoughts in a way where you're not in an emotion about it. You're not in your nervous system and you're not like spinning. It's like, it's a slow down, breathe. Is this a rational thought? Does this need to be done right now? It also the pause prepares the other person to receive the message. If I impulsively just say something or want to get it out or defensive, I'm not giving that other person a time to like receive the message. I edit myself. It's like a self-edit tool where I'm like, I don't think it needs to be said like that or said at all, or maybe wait. And it's not a great time. And Davis is yelling and it's breakfast time. Do I need to say this right now? Like, it's a self-edit tool. It also, the pause helps emphasize the importance of something. So if I'm talking very rapidly and then I give myself the breath and the pause, it feels like something very important is about to be said. And that person can listen even more intently to what I'm going to say. And it gets rid of all the fluff and the filters of me filling space, because I'm usually afraid of silence, because silence used to feel like stupid, didn't know what I was talking about, wasn't smart, and didn't have much to say. When you actually look at someone that's more silent and pauses, what they say actually matters because they're more thoughtful about what's coming out of their mouth. And it also helps me breathe. Oh my God, we forget about breath, and I do too. I always forget about breath sometimes when I'm talking. Like, okay, it's time to breathe now. It's time to breathe. And it just makes me more aware of my body and being connected to my body and being connected to the person standing in front of me. If I'm not breathing and not in my body, how am I going to be connected to the person in front of me, standing in front of me? So it makes me more connected, and how I communicate and my intentions to the other person, to be a whole person. Because if I'm not breathing, I am not a whole person, because I'm not giving oxygen to my body. A part of my body is not actually alive. So that's how I think about it. So the pause for me is really important. It gets me out of impulses. It takes me out of the drama. It gets me thinking before reacting. And it just overall makes me a better communicator, a better listener, a better partner, a better parent, and a better friend. And I'm really listen, here's the deal. It's still hard. That's why I have this pause, slow down, and breathe. I still have it on my computer little monitor. It's been here. It's been here for over a year, I think, because it's a constant reminder that I can slow down and not know and pause and really think about something before I say it. And I don't have to fill the space. So that is what I'm going to suggest for you today, to use the pause. Anytime you're not sure, anything you're reacting impulsively, it feels like a need that needs to be done right at that moment, I am asking you to pause, to use the pause. Thank you for listening to Secret Life. I hope this week's topic was helpful. If you have any questions, please send them to me at secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you'd like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.